Hello everyone, so we have an update to the patch 4.2. Let's start. It seems like they have 3 parts for this, so let's start. Shadows of Change Content Edition. So hi everyone, I'm Richard Aldridge, Game Director. Today I want to share some news with you on the new content that will be arriving soon. Let me just resume it a little bit for you. I'm a very fast reader, so I'll be covering what you can expect going forward with the Total War Warhammer series. Taking a peek behind the curtain as to how we go about planning, creating, and making our DLCs. So, reflecting on Shadows of Change. Cut straight to it, we didn't give you enough new characters and units to play with at the original release of Shadows of Change. We believe we can put this right for you, having listened to your feedback these past months and provided with better and more varied options for your armies. We know that you, our community, are as passionate about the game as we are, and we're pleased to say that many of your suggestions are being enacted upon. Not all ideas and requests are possible, though. The era of Karl Franz is, as you've come to expect, a rich and exciting setting for Total War, and we work closely with the Warhammer studio to ensure that the content of this era of Warhammer is as faithfully represented in our game as possible. Okay, so this basically means, and I interpret it as such, that there are some limitations given by to Creative Assembly by Games Workshop, of course. All of the forces featured within the Shadows of Change DLC can look forward to a sizable collection of reinforcements, but we won't be adding Hag Mothers as generic lords, as Mother Stanky is the only Hag Mother of Kislev. Similarly, the relationship between Gospodars and Ungols is taking a back seat as we look less at the tensions of historic Kislevite culture and more at what defines Kislev as a unified military force in the era of Karl Franz. Okay, so in essence, this is just responding to feedback, so you can at least tell that they actually listen to feedback in this case, guys. So for me, that's good. At least they are showcasing that there's some ideas that they cannot put in to pass because of Games Workshop, of course, the owner of the IP. Similarly, we won't be adding big Stutzangars. As while this avian characteristic occurs in other Warhammer settings, these elite goers in the old world represent those beastmen who have drawn the eye of the changer of ways. Okay. But as ever, we aim to ensure that whatever we do add is an authentic and experience of the world as Warhammer if possible. Okay, cool. Let me jump right to it. Looking to the future theme, and I love the Warhammer universe. Whether that to be to add further exciting characters like the Golden Knight, confirmed. Spectacular units as and creatures. Yes, I'm looking at you, mighty Hotpot. Oh, Hotpot. Halflings? Is that the case? Or other unexplored lore. We still plan to make many more DLCs for Total War Warhammer 3, with some of them like Thrones of Decay, following the same premise and composition as Shadows of Change. Okay, so what they are going to do now, we can expect that to Thrones of Decay, where we'll add 2 and develop 3 existing races. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's a good idea. So what we're having... below I have laid out what you can expect to see for Shadows of Change and Thrones of Decay in terms of the content. So they're already expanding on the Thrones of Decay and features of those products. So 3 legendary lords, each playable in the Realms of Chaos and Immortal Empires. So we already have that. Unique gameplay mechanics for each legendary lord. 3 legendary heroes, 1 per race. Okay, that's cool. Some of these, there wasn't any for the Cathay one. I'm reading all of this by the first time, okay, guys? So 3 lords, 1 per race. Okay, there were some that didn't catch. 3 heroes, 1 per race. This is good. 5 units, infantry, cavalry, monsters, etc. per race, and 3 regiments of renown per race. 1 free LC character. Okay, so Acold Hellbrass for Shadows of Change and Legendary Lord for Thrones of Decay. Okay, this is, at least we know what we expect, okay? And then potential further content. New spell lore, new mounts, and new additional free LC, subject to the IP theming of the DLC and where applicable. So this kind of confirms some stuff that I was honestly always giving them the benefit of the doubt, which is how much they can actually add and how much is controlled by Games Workshop. So of course they gotta have some reasons not to include some stuff that people are expecting because, well, maybe Games Workshop arrives and says, no, we can't. So the comparison chart. Legendary Lords, the same, but Legendary Heroes, we go for 3, so we're going to get +2 with the update 4.2. 1 Lord, we get 3, so +2, that's cool. 1 basic Lord for Kislev, 1 basic Lord for Tzeentch. Heroes, we only got 1, now we're going to get 3, so +2, that's great. plus 6 units. That's cool. Looking forward to it. 1 magic lore. This is predicted to be the Hag. Was predicted to be the Hag lore, and they don't mention it here, so that it can be expected. This is likely the lore of Hags, which is really cool. And free LC, we're gonna get 2, so plus 1. So in total, 14 new pieces of content. I'm quite pleased by this, and let me know, of course, in the comments below. But if this is the path they're going to take, that price will include this. I don't know. I'm divided. Of course, I want things to be cheaper, but let me know if you guys think it's a proper price. If they keep the price and they always send out 3 legendary lords, 3 legendary heroes, 3 lords, 3 heroes, you know, if they always send out this content, is it worth? That's what I would like you to answer here. Thank you again for your feedback since the release of Shadows of Change, and in particular thoughts on improving the rosters and having parity across the races. Okay. As mentioned above, each race will now have a legendary lord, legendary hero, lord, hero, 5 units, and 3 legends of renown. Okay, we already done it. We already went through that. Where possible, with further content, we'll also be adding thematic Lords of Magic mounts for new and existing characters to make use of, and making some much requested free LC where it makes sense. Catherine's head, okay, we can expect that. Okay, that's cool. Where it makes sense, well, I don't know if that means that they cannot add it because it doesn't make sense in the lore, or if they can add it. I hope that everything I've mentioned about looks much more in line with your expectations for the DLC. Personally, yes. Personally, for me, yes, that's what I was expecting. Let's read on the Grand Cathay editions. Whoa, there's a lot to read here. Hold on. Whoa, okay, there's a lot to read here. Grand Cathay editions. To set the scene, when we went back to look at what we could add to enrich the offering of Grand Cathay, we focused heavily on the theme that surrounds the Jade Dragon, his celestial court. This meant plenty of conversations with Games Workshop. Yeah. See, this is mentioned. This is already the 3rd time that they mention on this blog post. It's not like giving an excuse. They are not talking badly about Games Workshop, but of course it's their IP. So they have. It kind of confirms to me that they really have. They always go to Games Workshop and they go, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could do this?" And somewhere around the way, they get a no. So yeah, in looking to find characters and units, the best complemented this approach and made sense from a lore perspective. Looking at what we hadn't included, quickly in Total War or Shadows of Change quickly helped us fill in some of the gaps in Grand Cathay's roster, such as with the Gate Master and the Celestial Lion. The Lion in particular was something that almost made the cut for the original release, so I'm super excited to see it now in the roster as both a monstrous unit and the mount option. Oh, that's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. So, let's, our first ever legendary hero for Grand Cathay, Seitank the Watcher, Sentinel of the Heavens. So the first colossal legendary hero to you. We wanted to add Seitank to move away from what is currently known about Grand Cathay and showcase some of the other inhabitants of this mighty empire. Seitank represents an ever-watching protective figure, not dissimilar to Yambo, but as you will see is a fair bit larger. Okay, that's nice. Seitank gives it the opportunity to expand on Grand Cathay's use of magical constructs, something which is core to this great nation and how it protects itself. Okay, also turns itself now to the connection to the Jade Dragon and to the winds of Azir, heavens, and the more magical elements of Grand Cathay. So we can expect that it will have some powers, some magical abilities. Okay, he seems cool. He's like, oh, hold on, it's a hero unit with the looking like this. It sounds like it's a construct. Above you can see the first step you take when designing and adding content to our DLCs, starting with the thumbnail image. Gives us a quick and flexible method to work with Games Workshop in first realizing the character or unit. Okay, so you see there's a lot of, we have to talk with Games Workshop in every step of the way. So, well, I'm not excusing them, but it cannot be an easy task, really. When entering the concept stage of the creation process, yeah, look at that. Look at the size. Yet it's a hero sentinel. Oh my god. Looking at materials and textures to use, this will act as a comprehensive blueprint to guide our 3D character artists in the creation of the final model for you to play with in-game. We also use this as a sounding board for how our animations and designs will work, tweaking the size and scale of body parts to work with the game's engine. Okay, basically, he's really masterful. He's a hero. He's a hero that is actually a construct. That's amazing. Giant-sized legendary hero. Oh, okay. It's a rare sight, yeah? Precisely. So he's a construct. We have re-evaluated. Let me see what happens. He doesn't fly being a construct, even though he has mighty wings. Okay. He can jump large distances to close the gap on the enemy. I'm trying to go briefly through, because of course you can read it through. Construct. With the introduction of Satan into the game, we have re-evaluated the role of constructs on the Cathay roster. The Terracotta Sentinel and both Guardian Lions are now considered constructs, with the same rules as the constructs found on the Tomb King's roster. Oh, so they have lower leadership and can go away? Okay, that's kind of like undead. Okay, that's cool. Tough and heavy. Satan has a high amount of armor, which enables it to shrug off most attacks from non-armor piercing sources. He'll be able to send smaller entities flying with ease. So basically this means he has a lot of mass and armor. Giant bow. He can still deliver long-range attacks and singular target shots with devastating precision. Okay, let's get to the Game Master, Gate Master of the Celestial series. So he's a basic hero. You may have seen the art of this character since the release of Total War Warhammer 3, a character that didn't quite make the final cut. Now he's here. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we saw this previously. So he's a hybrid combatant. Let me go on to the... So he's hybrid combatant. The Gate Master uses a combination of sword, shield, and crossbow. Very adaptable unit. I like this. Defensive. He excels at defensive warfare with several abilities that buff friendly battle lines. I always love this. When you have a hero that actually enhances the units, it makes it a little bit better. So I like it. Mounted. When mounted on a warhorse, okay, we're going to have that, can quickly move. Okay, that's cool. He only has the mounts as a warhorse. Great Moon Bird. Oh, I love this. So this is a monster and monstrous mount. Okay. So it's just a bigger bird from the crows. Oh, look at him. He's kind of nice. So it's like an eagle phoenix style. Okay, similar to the high elf phoenix. Yeah, I got it. He has a powerful AoE vortex ability. Oh, that's cool. So new strategies will become viable in battle, whether it's providing air-to-air defense for sky junks. Oh, I like this. And or striking deep into the enemy lines. Okay, yeah, they didn't have a lot of presence in the air. Imagine now with the Longma Riders and this. That's cool. And the yeah, you're gonna have sky junks, this, and with the mounts and with the Longma Riders. Okay, I like it. Airborne, of course, he can fly. Moonfire can produce a vortex of moonfire and flaming and magical. Much like the Arcane Phoenix, he can deal both flaming and magical attacks. This is cool, and it's a mount option for the Astromancer. Oh, that's cool. Celestial Lion. He's a monster and monstrous mount. Oh, I love it. I can't wait to have this. Celestial Lion. Look at this. So majestic. I love it. Gameplay overview. He's fast, predictable. Airborne. He can also fly. Okay. Suddenly Cathay is going to be a flying army. I can be certain of it. You're going to have a very good flying army with Cathay. I really like it, actually. So he's similar to Griffin or Manticore. Yeah, I was about to compare that. And he's fearsome, so he has fearsome roar and a terror attribute. He has terror, that's excellent. It helps a lot. So this is basically just a single entity flying monster. So it is also a mount option for the Celestial General. That's cool. That's cool. So before I end today, I wanted to cover an omission that you may be hoping for in Grand Cathay's roster update, an elite core infantry unit. There's a very good reason for this, and trust me, we aren't monkeying about. Okay. If you guys don't understand, it's because it will likely come in with a Monkey King. You know, that's why they're showing this, so Monkey King confirm. Okay, the first, as we explained, is on keeping the focus on the Celestial Court and the Jade Dragon. It makes sense, guys. It makes sense that, you know, if you want these kind of units, it has to make sense on the lore in itself. And then they're going to bring some more elite infantry units with the Monkey King later on. Okay, the second being, the Celestial Courts don't have a unit of this type to add. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. So have plans to support the game with lots of new content for the foreseeable future. So, when can you expect patch 4.2? The team are still working flat out to have everything ready for release, but we want to be upfront with you that there's a chance that our intended date could shift slightly. Okay, but at least they're letting us know a potential delay. This is true nature of video game development, and spotting those last-minute issues or adding that final polish which can lead to release dates changing. It's important to all of us here that we get patch 4.2 right for you, so we won't rush it out before it's ready. Honestly, that's exactly what I want. I'm not kidding. Like, everyone complains when they rush things out. what we also complain is how, you know, slow things come in, but in between those two, I prefer slow and ready than, you know, than too fast and rush it out, and then there's a lot of bugs and issues with the game. So I prefer this much more. So next week we'll be back with a deep dive on the additional units coming to Tzeentch, along with confirmation 4.2's release date. So that's cool. Next week we get the confirmation of when it happens. Likely this will be like next week Tzeentch, next week the week after Kislev, and only then there's the release or something like that. Okay, that feels cool. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you guys for watching this video, and let me know in the comments below if you're happy with what you're seeing, if you're going to purchase, if you have already purchased and you're eager for it, whatever. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye bye.